So we now have Nightcall. This came out on Xbox on Game Pass on the 24th of June, but I was lucky enough to get a code for promotional purposes. It is published by Raw Fury, and the developers are Monkey Moon, Black Muffin Studio. It's a visual novel adventure, and yeah, it is on Xbox Game Pass and also in xCloud apparently. But yeah, my brain just needs to have a bit of a calm, so 2 seconds, I just need to change the game. Yeah, that just got a little bit too much. Oh, and thank you for the raid, Reese. Hi everyone from Reese's stream. You can't see me because I didn't put the thing on. Hi everyone from Reese's stream. So everyone joining us, we're currently mid giveaway. Ooh, and thank you for the resub. 5 months. That's very nice. Can I do it in actual French? Possibly. Depends. Do you want to understand story time? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 12 to 12 tomorrow. So I'm gonna roll 3 more. Did Damien reappear? Or reply? I don't remember. Spouse poll. They're still in chat, but I didn't see a reply. I think Damien is spouse poll. I'm very, very bad at remembering names today, apparently. Nightbot, stop entering. Spaz, you won! The last one. You need to tell me which game you would like. I have codes, Xbox codes for Road to Guangdong, Stories Untold, Unrailed, Carto, Shotgun Farmers, and one for Cake Bash. And I have 1 Steam code left for Dark Nights with Poe Monroe. But if you don't answer, then I can't give you a code. You keep on entering. You're not going to let me know what you want to win. So it's kind of a little bit, anticlimactic. If you don't want a code, then, I'm sure someone else will want it. No, sports channel on Discord. Yeah. If you don't reply, then I'm just gonna re-roll, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna roll some more codes and then we're gonna start story time. So Desmakia. Ah, I recognize that avatar. You won. So I have some Xbox codes, and I have one code for Dark Knights with Poe and Monroe. I have one Steam code for Dark Knights with Poe and Monroe, Desmakia. Or I have Xbox codes. Which would you prefer? Yes, of course. That's perfectly fine. I'm glad I got to give all of those away because Diaveki were very, very generous in giving me codes to give away for this. So I will whisper that to you on Twitch now, Desmakia. And congratulations. And yeah, if Spazpol is actually listening, I'm trying to that you have a game code for Xbox, which is the ones I've got left now. But you need to reply. Okay, all right. I'll put the codes. Someone type the codes in chat when I say them out. Would you mind the games in chat? Would someone mind doing that? Thanks, Alkesh. So I've got Road to Guangdong, Stories Untold, Unrailed, Kato, Shotgun Farmers, and Cake Bash. All for Xbox. Thank you, Alkesh. Much appreciated. And we can get that, and I will also, while I'm doing that... Cool. Leaky, you want another code? Right, I'm just going to send Cake Bash code to Spazpol. Did Leaky go to bed though? I don't know whether Leaky went to bed or whether he just crashed after the thing. Leaky keeps winning. I think. Okay, I mean, you know, people have to enter. Who else has entered? I can re-roll. But I mean, you have to enter to be able to win. Leaky is entering. I'm just hitting the button. The machine is doing it. My Xbox is going to sleep. Yes, exactly. It is random. So, Leaky, we have the list that Olkesh just put into chat minus Cake Bash because I only had one code for that. If you would like to pick one. Obviously, you can't have the same one that you've already won. I really need to update my website. Apropos of nothing particularly. Whew. I also just want to calm down for a Todge. Kato! Awesome. I will ping you on Discord because it's easier. And I will do, I believe, one more roll? Hang on. How many hours are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I will do... But you have already won one, Dan. Okay, I'm going to roll again for another winner. Jesse! Did you... I can't remember. I think he said he was going for some food. Like, ages ago. So I will save and he can pick when he gets back. And then, because it'll roll over into hour 17 while I'm doing story time, I'll do one more, and... Oh! You've won another code! We're getting duplicates now because people are entering twice. Or 3 times. You wanted a second term. Okay. So, I'm just going to ping article. I'm going to find that handy list that Alkesh put in. And then I will reset the draw and we'll do it. Well, maybe I'll reset it, but you know, don't feel like you have to enter. I'll tell you when I'm going to do the giveaway and then it might be easier. More still in here? Yes. Hopefully that pinged people. It looks like it did. Okay. Right. Now people are entering. It's a lot more fun. I was trying to do a giveaway for like the first 3 hours and no one was entering. So, now we have... I'm going to take some water. And then we have story time with Joe, and then I'm having a pizza. So I'm just going to start a new game. Because it's just easier. And I'm going to pick the Sandman. Because I don't think I've done that on anything balanced. You've still got a chance, Dan. I still have more codes. We still have more hours. I'll do another giveaway after story time. I'm hoping you can hear because I'm going to answer. Basically, every time I do the bunch of rolls and people win, then I reset it and then you have to re-enter. Otherwise, it could be that people enter at the beginning and then they're not here 12 hours later. And then I'm talking to the wind. But I will not be doing a draw for another hour or so. Yeah, cool. I won't be doing a draw for another hour or so. We've got like an hour of this game. I'm going to do an hour of this game, so I'll do one, I guess probably while I'm sorting pizza and things. Food. Oh, nice. Thanks, Ollie. Cool. I'm glad that works. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. So now we're going to get the silly voices. Ah, yeah. I don't know what... I should probably have a look at what I've got. Because I've just been randomly putting up score. I have 3,362 TA diff. I think I'm okay for this week. I've put up like a good portion for our team already. I know it's killing ratios. It's killing ratios and like making mini go uppities. Yeah. My stats are wrong on it and it annoys me because I can't save it until they fix the stats. But yeah. Yeah, GTA 5 will. All the big ones will. What's my achievement? Oh, I haven't even looked at that. I don't really care about TA score particularly. Not everyone's gone, Jesse, but you won again. If you go up a little bit. Oh, I don't know. If you still got the chat, if you go up a little bit. You won another code. And the choices are just below the ping for you. If you didn't, I've still got the message saved. No, I did not get the message saved because it's on my other screen. I'm sure someone can copy and paste it for you if you missed it. But not everyone's gone. It just, we've gone off the voice chat. You can see it. Cool. Yeah, if you just let me know and I'll ping you after I've done story time. Or like message me on TA and or tell me then message me on TA and I'll sort it out for you. But we're gonna do story time. Yeah, see, everyone's here. I think. Reed said he was staying up, but I don't know how that worked. And also it seems to be now at least 20 minutes later, and I'm confused how it's 20 minutes later. Possibly because I did giveaway draw. Anyway, going to play this game for an hour to try and calm down a bit. Yeah, there we go. Pulled it the thing. Right. Okay. Here? Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Oh, I'm not... I want you to be comfortable. You can always change your mind. The voice is female, husky, and worn. You find it deeply comforting. Do you want me to speak in a normal, medium, or loud voice? Fine like that. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The one the media are calling the Sandman shot you before escaping. You were deprived of oxygen for several minutes and we chose to put you in an induced... Her voice becomes more distant. Fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they? I'm sorry? Did they catch the Sandman? You nod. No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. You're currently the only one of Sandman's victims who's still alive. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care he's the only witness, he's... Another female voice joins in, a strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make out what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realised that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. Feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, put my onesie back on now. Story time with Joe. You get the bear. Night 1. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. Real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Sorry. Just want to get things back to normal, to clear my head, to stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighbourhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious tone. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and you try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Oh right, no overtime. We're in France here and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while as if he's hesitant to speak and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer's still out there and we think he's going to come back for you. We? Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. You can count on me. He scratches an invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. He smiles. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling around. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment and then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. Back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Cool. I'll send it after this bit. I'll message you on Discord. Okay, so I'm not quite sure which bit's are fairs. Maybe it's the yellow. We have to pick up. That wasn't quite clear. It's not something I noticed before. Okay. Camille and Porn. Your next passenger has barely gotten in the cab when she tells you where she wants to go in a frank and determined voice. You start driving. She's glancing around the cab and taking notes. How's your evening going? Your passenger doesn't reply and continues to examine your taxi. She runs a finger over the cloth of the back seat. Sniffles the seatbelts. Opens and closes the window over and over. Let her go on. After a few seconds, she starts talking again with a twinge of disgust in her voice. Do you think the quality of your vehicle has an influence on your numbers? Yeah, I think so. She cuts you off. I need a yes or a no answer. The last word slides up with an imaginary question mark. It's still resonating in the cab when she starts her next sentence. It will make analyzing the data from our questionnaire easier. Questionnaire. We can talk about that later. First, let's go through the questions. Do you think the quality of your vehicle has an influence on your numbers? Yes, I think so. She takes a minute to write down your reply. Good. Do you think you could drive for more than 12 hours a day? You look at her in the rearview mirror. Yes, but it would be dangerous. She doesn't even listen to the end of your reply. What about 16 hours? Driving 16 hours? Your brain fixates on her upspeak. Hours. You shake your head. 16 hours straight. 16 hours. Yes or no? I know. She sighs softly as if she was disappointed. Would you be prepared to learn massage techniques as part of your taxi service? Massage? Answer the question. No, I have to drive, she groans. That is inconvenient. What about learning basic psychotherapy? Not there yet. I'm not going to stop. No need. I'll take that as a yes. Good, good, good. Her eyes land on the next question. She lets out a little, ooh. This one's prickly. Her voice makes your skin crawl. You dig your fingernails into the leather of your steering wheel. Would you be prepared to learn how to make coffee and mix cocktails? You remain silent for a moment. She cuts you off. A yes or a no answer. In the taxi? Obviously. Where else would you do it? She rolls her eyes dramatically. It's so fake it looks like she's doing mime or in theatre class. My idea is based on a very simple concept. People take taxis in the morning, midday, at night. What if you offer them coffee on their way to work? Croissant. What if at noon, between two meetings, they could eat a nice hot meal, comfortably seated on the cushy back seat of a taxi? And in the evening, nighttime, why not have a cocktail before your evening out at the theater, the movies, even before clubbing? She stops herself. You can tell she's restless. Oh, hello. Une étoile. Nice. 2% of the passenger deck space. Nice. You sigh. Good thing you're not far from your destination. So? Condemn the idea. It's ridiculous. That's a terrible idea. Excuse me? Well, for starters, it's dangerous to have coffee in a moving vehicle. And I don't see how I can drive and prepare all that. I have observed that when a driver picks up a new passenger, they park for an average of 117 seconds. Yes, so we can write up the bill, pick up, sometimes clean up the cab. Or just take a break. It's wasted time. The idea is to use those 2 wasted minutes to prepare a meal for the next passenger. The meals they have ordered on our app. How do you expect him to cook in a taxi? She doesn't seem to get it. Do you drive? No. I live in Paris. I don't need a car. Driving is really exhausting. Much more so than it seems, you know. She looks at you. Seems taken aback. She raises her hand. But wait, I didn't tell you the name I found for the concept. You're going to love it. She smiles. Mobile home. Get it? Your taxi becomes a home. A mobile home. She points her head in your direction. Not bad, eh? Listen, I'm sorry to break it to you like this. I mean, I'm just a simple taxi driver. Didn't go to college or anything. But I know that folks just want to go from one place to another. Some talk, some sleep, many send texts. The cab. It's just a cab. She stares at you. You'd be crazy for not wanting to transform your life. I'm offering you a way to provide better service, make more money, bring your job into the 21st century. Your blood starts to boil. Keep calm. We've not moved anywhere! We're not machines. Yet you'll soon be replaced by robots. They know where to go, how to drive. In 10 years' time, you'll have been eradicated. So if I were in your shoes, keep a lid on it. I'd be thinking about a career change. Okay, you got to be a little savvy, flexible, curious, willing to leave your comfort zone. There's a twinkle in your eye. You remember one particular night, blood on your hands, your wounds. Comfort zone. Say nothing. Behavior is very typical of those performing low-skilled labor. You let her voice fade away, dissolve into a background noise like the hum of an engine, the rubbing of the tires, the click of the clutch. Comfort zone. You could sum this whole story up like that. You were pulled out of your comfort zone. Everything changed when... I live right over there. You stop immediately. Your passenger hands you some money. As you're handing over her change, she sighs. You were lost in thoughts for a while there. You need to pay closer attention. Doesn't really meet my expectations of a good taxi driver. She gets out of the taxi before you can answer. You bite your lip. Comfort zone. Blood on your hands. Ooh. Hi, Jess. Thank you for the raid. Ooh, party of 19. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I'm just sliding down slowly. Welcome to my Extra Life stream. Welcome, raiders. Welcome to my Extra Life stream. I'm currently streaming for 24 hours to raise money for children's hospitals. Of course it's a real 24-hour stream, Ray. What did you think I was playing at? I'm doing this for charity. I've raised $1,240.57 for children's hospitals, specifically for the Sick Kids Foundation in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, I'm streaming for 24 hours solid. Okay, I'm taking breaks for food, but I am on stream for pretty much most of the 24 hours. Aside from short breaks, I'm streaming a medley of games and also doing giveaways throughout the stream. I should be doing another giveaway in probably about 45 minutes after we've had this little bit of story time with Joe. We are currently playing Night Call. So yeah, and also I hit my target like 5 hours into the stream, so I'm wearing a onesie, and also I dyed my hair red. It's not usually red, but you can't see it. Ha! I don't snore, Dan. I don't snore. I do wiggle like crazy and end up upside down in my bed, but I don't snore. But yes, this is totally not pre-recorded, and we are totally doing 24 hours. We are nearly 17 hours in. We're going strong. We've got another 7 hours to go. And yeah, in 45 minutes, we'll be doing another giveaway and taking a break for some food, or at least to put. Yeah. Oh, no. But you know me. I'm not one of those people that, you know, prevaricates the truth. I just tell the truth. I sometimes talk in my sleep. I occasionally have lucid dreams, but I've never snored. Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't hear it, but I'd wake myself up because I think that would be really weird if I ever did that. No, I have enough trouble sleeping without adding snoring to it. Oh, my ears won't stay on. So, yes. But yes, welcome to the raid. Welcome to the raiders. If you're not already following and you want to see more of this, obviously at the moment I'm a bear in a taxi cab. It's not massively interesting, but if you do stay a while and you find it interesting, then, you know, feel free to drop me a follow. It's free. And feel free to stay along for the ride. As I said, we're live for another 7 hours and about 7 minutes, something like that. Can't see the clock at this angle. We have many more games to go, but at the moment we're playing Night Call and doing some story time with Joe with some hilarious fake accents. So yeah. Back to the story. Come on. Okay. We got 68... Oh, 68 cents tip. After that, after all that. Okay, so we can pick up a random person. Who's closest? I think this guy. Sony Talba. Okay, let's go 5 kilometers. I should really learn whether the price is appropriate for the distance, but I don't check that. You double park and wait for your next passenger to slide into the back seat. He looks at you like he appreciates you in your taxi. He gives you his address. You start driving. Your passenger doesn't make a sound for the next few minutes of the trip. It doesn't bother you. You have enough on your mind. You're overcome with a craving to smoke. You nod slowly and glance at your passenger. Calm and still, he seems far away. I'm just going to leave it. The silence becomes heavy. All of a sudden you feel a strange sense of camaraderie with your passenger. You look at him quickly in the rearview mirror. He doesn't look familiar at all, and it's like you know him. A second later, an outside light shines on his face at a weird angle. Looks like he's smiling. A few seconds later, you drive down his street. He straightens up a bit. You park in front of the number he gave you. He pays his fare without a word. The door opens slowly and he smiles at you. You can tell it comes from the bottom of his heart despite how uptight he is. You're a really swell guy. You weren't expecting that. By the time you collect your thoughts, your passenger is already far away. He disappears into a building. A moment goes by before you turn the key in the ignition. Ooh, I got a decent tip, I'll take that. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Yeah, exactly, Dysmakia. Dad, that is the best passenger. I don't particularly like talking if I'm in a taxi and I'm having a contemplative night, but sometimes I do like to talk. I like to sit in the front seat. It's weird, I guess. Alright, okay, so this is the detective. Having a good night? For a second you freeze. One of the cops on Sandman's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. Do you remember seeing her at the hospital? Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself there's something off about you. Something not so nice? I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. Let her keep going. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. You're not the Sandman, not the right profile. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from afar away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us is a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he had a crush on you. She smacks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17, icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address, Agent. It's normal, you say, if they get rid of your time served, none of your permits, no lease for your car, meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like the guys who want a second chance. No, I like the guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with the evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, and some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. Don't forget. N'oubliez pas. I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer raptor with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, mon ami. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go and check in on you-know-who. Ooh, thank you for the follow, the half-heard. Much appreciated. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you're done time? Hello! You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. I did what I could. Yeah, if you say so. She sighs in a tired, exaggerated way. Don't try to mess with me, man. If things don't go well, I'll turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that Leap's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his bleeping life with a bang. Can't watch this case. You got me, and neither can you. Right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're My informant, my CI. You ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I do think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays a hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, and right, do not get me fired. Without the cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. For what is worse, it was a pleasure not to be interrupted every other minute. You can't imagine how much I miss that at work. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Pas un mot. The door opens, squeaks, slams shut. Bleep him, bitch! He sits alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You'll find them back at your studio after your shift. Bing! We got 4 clues discovered. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Bussett gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Well, your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect. Trying to understand their motives. Understand how he and she got into that situation. You're suddenly overcome with a desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. Time to get moving on your investigation. Okay. Hold to investigate. Hold to investigate. Hold to investigate. Oops. Hold to investigate. Hold to investigate. Check the board. Wow, okay. So, Geraldine Zemmour lost her company to Groupe Diamant. Oh, sorry. Okay, victim 1 thought to be a suicide at first. We've not linked that to everything. Alright, victim 1 used to work with the mafia. Come on. Over here. Anita's husband is a dentist with access to muscle relaxant. Interesting. So who's this? So, Anita Ventimiglia. Height 179. CEO of Groupe Diamante. Owner of the Albatross building. Excellent physical state. Has been difficult to investigate. Have friends in high places. Described as a shark by rivals and friends. Ruthless and ready for anything. Father was linked to the Corsican mafia. Okay. So, Geraldine Zemmour, 183, an ex-partner of Groupe Diamant, recently fired from the board. Good physical state, lost her dad a year ago, did military service in Israel, knows how to handle a gun. Anger management issues, assaulted a cop a few months ago. I'm assuming that says ago. We seem to have run out of thingy. So, she lost her company, but... So, we've got Camille Antoine. Oh, that was the annoying... Ow. Sorry. Sitting on the corner of my cushion and Yeah. And the thing's falling off. That way, wasn't that the lady in the taxi that was trying to sell us on freaking mobile home food delivery in a taxi? 177, entrepreneur, heir of the fourth victim, good, young, fit, good physical state, anger management issues, attacked a cop the day of the first killing, never arrested, blurry past, live in a studio owned by her family, and the group Diamant. She did it, proof she's rude, case closed. Well, we've got to do like 4 or 5 days before we can close the case, but I will make a note that Desmachia believes it's Camille. She was also really annoying. So, victim 1, burn marks on the body done when alive. First thought to be a suicide. Victim 2, strangled post-mortem. Victim 1's usual MO, similar to Albatross fire. So what was that about the Albatross fire? Owner of the Albatross building. Okay. Victim 1 was an arsonist. Ah, so Victim 1 may have set fire to a building. Okay, so Christophe Clarin, 171, a young drifter, drop out of school, average physical state, arrested but already released. Always released, minor at the time, reasons unknown. Known address in Paris. Suspected to steal unlocked cars, possible use of drugs. Okay, that's, weary. Okay, so Alexandre's grandson died from the Albatross fire. Alexandre Leclerc, 181, retired mailman, good physical state despite his alcoholism. Lost his grandson in the Albatross fire a few months ago. Was one of the most vocal protested after the Albatross fire. Attacked Anita Ventimiglia during a protest. She never pressed charges. He's looking very likely. It's unlikely that a CEO that's described as a shark would have any interest in revenge. Look, especially with victim 1 being an arsonist. Victim 2 was strangled post-mortem and tears were found on victim 2. Personal collection. Fourth victim. Related to the fourth victim. Not the second. We don't have any information on the fourth victim as yet. But the victim 1 stuff makes it very likely that it might be Alexandre. But I don't think we have any more info. So we'll just end the night here. With a heavy hand, you wiped your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of your day run through your head. Streets, passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed, your body aches and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. It looks awfully empty. Tomorrow you'll have a chance to fill it up more. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. A second later, you're asleep. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside. Time for work. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Okay, so I don't know what the eye is, but this lady looks urgent. The lady? This person looks urgent. A jogger runs by your taxi. You're blinded by his reflective clothing. Yes, I hope you didn't fall asleep with a cigarette and a full beard. It does seem. So this is Geraldine Zemois. Okay, well we're definitely taking them. Maybe that's why the other person was yellow, because they're the suspects. You pull up in front of La Pierre, a starred restaurant you've heard a lot about. 2 women are waiting out front, standing a ways apart. The first is one of your suspects. You recognise her face right away. She's connected to the hedge fund that managed the Albatross, the apartment building that burned down. The second woman, you've never seen before. She's wearing pyjamas. She has a dumb smile on her face. They hug each other goodbye in an oddly distant way. The first leans over to your window. We're going in 2 different directions. Cold, blunt voice. You can tell by her tone she's trying to impress the other woman. I'm going to Saint-Germain, and she's going to Étoile, Avenue de la Grande Armée. Both women look at each other. Go ahead, especially if you go first. You might catch cold otherwise. Are you sure? Completely. Her friend comes over and opens the door. Thanks for tonight. I really needed someone to talk to. It felt good to finally be able to say. My thoughts exactly. I'm going to think about your offer, and I'll call you, okay? The woman getting in your cab gives you her address. She waves to her friend on the sidewalk. You start driving and glance in the rearview mirror. She's wearing makeup, but her hair is a mess. The coat she's wearing is obviously very expensive and covering some kind of polar fleece pajamas. She turns to you with an odd look on her face. Having a good evening? You nod slightly, surprised by her tone. She sounds like she just won millions playing the lottery. Mostly calm. This is a pretty quiet neighbourhood. The restaurants around here close late, that helps. She nods slowly. Actually, I was just at La Pierre. What an incredible restaurant. Do you know it? I've heard of it. Oh yeah? She seems genuinely interested. We tend to find out about good spots like that, dropping tourists off or picking them up. Handy. Her smile is starting to make you feel uncomfortable. Yes, I was thinking you must, meet all sorts of people. All shapes and forms, yes. Must be refreshing, night after night, new faces, new stories. You look like you're in an awfully good mood. Yes. Her face lights up. Yes, actually, fabulous evening, excellent restaurant, great wine. Not to mention a winning plan. A plan? Yes, a plan, a scheme, a plot of sorts, if you prefer. She leans forward slightly. Tell me, have you ever wanted to take revenge? Her attitude suddenly seems scary. Your blood freezes. Before you can react, she continues. I recommend it. It's an absolutely incredible sensation. I've never felt so good. She heaves a satisfied sigh. That woman you saw back then, her name is Anita. A few months ago, she destroyed everything I'd built for myself. Okay, so Geraldine and Anita. We're going to have to make sure we get them the right way round when we look up stuff. When my father passed away 10 years ago, I found myself in charge of his candy business. A tiny shop, a horrendous kitchen. I had to fire half the people on payroll. I poured every cent I had into it, got organic, local products. 2 years later, I had 7 boutiques in and around Paris, 14 total in France. Les Confiteries du Marais. You heard of them? Yes. She acknowledges your answer, pleased to know her brand is well known. Well, it's all me. Her face clouds over for a second. I mean, it was all me. Since it was a huge success, since we needed to open more and more shops, I looked for investors. Little by little, my tiny business had become huge, and I had to add more people to my board, and that's how I met Anita. Her voice reminds you of an Arctic wind. Thanks, Homie Drew. Also, if I didn't say hi to you earlier, hi. Also, my tea is so very cold. Anita and her investment fund. Sounds like the title of a children's book, but a twisted and savoury one. She sighs again, sadly this time. I was fired from my own company 4 months ago. Is that even possible? Oh, I'm sorry, Alkesh. I'm living proof it is. She smiles warmly at you. When they gave me the boot, I pretended to save my face. I pretended it was the best thing for me and my family. More time to spend with my children. She takes a long pause. I lied. She looks away. I felt so ashamed, like I was less than human, a dirty rag you threw out without a second thought. She snickers. You have a moment of doubt about her, one of your suspects. The very next day I was contacted by an association fighting to prevent tax fraud, and she stops talking when she sees the confused expression on your face. It's complicated. I'm sort of a Trojan horse, pretending to want to sell my remaining shares to pull them into a trap. Tonight, after hesitating for weeks, she finally took the bait. I feel like a spy dressed like a bum. She points to her pajamas, her boots, her hair. The look on the waiter's face when he saw me. She giggles. I gave Anita an Oscar-winning performance, told her I wanted to sell what I still had, get the hell out of this shitty country. I wanted things to be handled discreetly, without making a fuss, without having to pay out the nose. She said okay, asked me to contact her specialist. She bursts out laughing. If my plan works, les confiseries du Marais will disappear. You're okay with that? I have no choice. It's me or them. Anita and the Groupe Diamant must be stopped. They're involved in all sorts of shady deals. Ah, she's the one on the left, and Anita's the one all the way on the right, I think. Tax exile, offshore accounts, maybe worse. I'll do everything I can to bring her down, and she waves a hand to put an end to your conversation. She's noticed something down the street. I could use a drink. Actually, I need a drink. She points to a bar, well-lit windows with dark red and green lights inside. Chocolate chip cookies are good. Stop here. You pull over and your passenger pays the fare. She slips you a small tip with a smile on her lips. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing excellent work. You're doing good work. Excellent work. She gets quickly out of the cab. The door slams, followed by the same silence that comes after every passenger. You lean over to catch a glimpse of her. Ooh, hello, la patronne. You spied on Geraldine. Spying? I was checking she was okay. You lean over to catch a glimpse of her. Her get-up makes an impression on some of the people in the bar. She walks straight up to the bar and raises two fingers with the kind of confidence only a regular could have. You sigh. You turn the key in the ignition and start driving. Alright, now everyone's getting a snack. It's not a bad tip. 10%? How are we on petrol? It's fine. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I think this dude's closest. I need pizza. Walnut cake. Always cake, even if it's walnutty. You rub your heavy eyes. Fatigue, stress. You wish you were far away from here. Peter, DJ Watson Cavello. Wants to go to the Port de Versailles. 5 kilometers for 19 euros? Sounds reasonable. The door opens and your passenger collapses in the back seat. Scotch egg! Oh my, everyone's eating! I should put the oven on. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the oven on and put some more hot water in my tea. So I'm going to do a burb myself and hydrate. And I will run an ad because, well, you know, you're not eating yet. Okay. Alright. So we're going to have a burb, an ad, so people don't get pre-roll for the next half hour, and no one's missing anything. And I will be right back. Well, if you need to sleep, you should sleep. You know. I'm not holding it against you. You know, you've been sick. Sorry, just putting my socks on. In case you're wondering what I was doing. I took them off earlier because my feet were hot. Now my feet are cold. So yeah, there's the Passadex, which is where we get info on all our passengers. And we get achievements for some things. So yeah. But yeah, I don't want to keep anyone up particularly. But obviously, if you are able to be awake because it's your normal time zone, then that's great. If you're staying up and it's 1:30 for you or 2:30, please don't feel like you're up. Feel like it's an obligation for you to stay up. Excuse me. Okay, so I've got hot tea now, and I put the oven on, so at least I'll be able to have something in a bit. It'll take time to cook, so we'll probably figure out what game we're doing and stuff. Achievements for spying on Geraldine. Yes. I've never said you had to stay up, Dan. But yeah, Harford. We got an achievement. It was called a patron or something like that. A patron. So we got that a while ago as I was just unlocking the game. But there's a decent amount of achievements in this game, and it's quite long to get them all because you've got to get all the passengers, and sometimes you have to get like the same person over the game. Yes, it's in Game Pass, I believe. Both versions. I have both versions. This one I got a code for, but it is in Game Pass on Xbox, and it's also in Game Pass on Win 10. You can't sleep on a stomach full of mini Scotch eggs. 3 of them are still unobtainable. On one of the versions, yes, but they got fixed on something else. One of them they got fixed on. Hang on. Let me just check which one they got fixed on. Not the Xbox version. They got fixed on PC. Yeah. So that probably means that there is a patch coming at some point. Sorry, I'm just checking. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Well, I mean, unobtainables, but they are being patched. They're patched on PC. You know, the thing is, obviously, it's got to go through certification, and with everyone being stuck at home with COVID, everything's been delayed. So yeah, but the fact that they have been fixed on PC means they will be fixed on Xbox, I would imagine, unless something horrendous comes up. So I wouldn't hold it against them. But if you're worried about unobtainables, then there's none on the Win 10 version, which plays exactly the same, and you can use a controller if you've got a PC, obviously. Yeah. Ooh, his eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze. A clubber. He mumbles his destination. You start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Who talks about taxes? Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumours, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows, it might come in handy. Clues! Your mind wanders. Your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. Ask my passenger. Oh, I know, Paul, but you know. You've been awake since 6. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing the dial to find a station you like. 80s rock ballad. Too soft? Behind you, your passenger is snoring. Barely, but you can hear him. Hi, Scruff. Atonal classical music. Sounds like the orchestra is badly tuned. Right, not tonight. Two journalists discussing the latest discoveries in the Sandman affair. Glue! People are not sleeping. I'm not sleeping, but everyone else is allowed to sleep if they should be sleeping. No one is obliged to stay up. Yes, my character in the game is falling asleep at the wheel. But yes, I appreciate everyone staying with me, but please don't feel obligated. But obviously I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. It's definitely... It's been a full day. I mean... I've been up since 7, but I didn't sleep great, so I'm flagging a little, I have to say. But I feel like probably drink and some food will help. So we'll have a short break after this, run another giveaway probably, and yeah. What we'll probably do is when the oven's heated up, I'll put my pizza in, and then when the pinger goes, we can stop this. Or we can see how it goes, because this is kind of cool. No, that's cool. Lurking is good. Yeah, I'm hoping, I mean, this stream's getting the best numbers I've ever gotten. I didn't think, I'd get quite such a high average, considering it's 24 hours. I thought it's gonna peter out at some point, but we're still going strong, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully get some numbers of people chatting at the same time might unlock some more things, but I don't know. Either way, it'll get my no. I need 75 plus average for partner, and I mean the stream's been good, but like 20 or so is not gonna cut it for partner. I'm not gonna get a partner. But affiliate is perfectly adequate right now. Yay, Tarragon's online. That must mean it's now morning or afternoon on the other side of the world. Yeah, it's lunchtime on the other side of the world. Yes, it was totally me spending an hour throwing rubbish into a bin and failing miserably that drew them in 10. To be fair, it probably did. But we had a decent amount for Day of the Tentacle. I was quite pleased I finished that one. People seem to like Stories Untold. I have codes for that, if people are interested in winning those. That seemed really good. Yeah. I just need a little something to make me feel a little less like it's nearly 2 in the morning. So, maybe we'll see what game we pick next. But we'll keep on with this one for a little while. I like this one. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Anyway, the information they share, rumours, nothing more, seems important nonetheless. An ad interrupts the torrent of words, and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm, but just aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial. The music plays on. I played it twice, Dan. How did you manage to miss it? But yes, if you enter, I'm sure you'll win again. I'm sure you'll get a chance to win again. We've still got, 7 or so more. Well, I've still got probably more than that codes-wise. So there's a good chance. But it was a nice little game. Oh, come on, Jesse. You won twice. I think I'm going to have to put my foot down on and drink again. You lift your hand from the dial, the music plays on. Not bad. Postal ballots? Turn it up so I can hear better. I don't want to wake you. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. Wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. Oh, someone hit exclamation mark giveaway, and then it'll make more sense. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent, probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on and say it till they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Oh, FTK is for the kids. Your client mumbles. I bet. The song is coming to an end and the announcer in a piercing foghorn voice throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's a good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. Oh, hi, Total! Snickers. Still. Taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. 94 and a party at the Rex Club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. Kid no older than 17, thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. Dan! For the kids! Kids stream! Streaming for the children's. Yeah, it's going well. Just feel like I need a... I don't know. Not a cookie. I don't want sugar. I need something. I'm gonna have pizza in a bit. Hopefully that'll make me feel a bit better. No, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. Told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. I don't think he did, Scruff. But it's fine. He finally became an adult. He sold X to pay his way in. Briefly Snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence filled the cab. Weighted silence. You tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. I wonder what people think if he knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If only they knew. Your passenger clams up. You stare at your passenger and notice little details revealing how old he must be. Thinning hair on top of his head. The creases in his forehead. His worn blazer that he can't quite fasten anymore. We ran into each other in Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. Spinning this little cub. Yeah, really little, but it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ... Yeah. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio, can it take a flash drive? You glance at your radio, you don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the 2 front seats. Listen to this, it's what I played tonight, it's mine. He sets his phone to play. But you know, people were barely dancing. A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's pictures. 4 notes start to dance in the cab. Barely touch, never kiss anymore. Perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, surely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music. Synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least. Song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts up. Got people dancing. Song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head like they do every time you find yourself online. The guy in the back seat is too old to be young. You suddenly look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time-lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee and he wakes up at the start. Shit, yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yes, great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks, I hope you liked it. Silence. The music, my music, the song I played you. Should have been in the spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... Stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. He seems to stagger towards his building. It takes him several tries to get the door open. Finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. Oh. This person's close. This is kind of mellow, this game. Need a cab. Quick. Wow. That seems reasonable. You pull up in front of the American embassy. You can't recall ever picking up a customer here. Probably have a fleet of their own. Or a contract, a private company. The door opens. You take immediate liking to the guy who gets in. You find him somewhat reassuring. Like a lost tourist. He babbles something in English. You have to listen hard to make out the address. Sorry, I'm just back in Paris. I've forgotten my manners. He flashes you a sparkling smile. His voice is tinged with a slight American accent. I can't do an American accent. Sorry about this. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Paul, getting you and Ross mixed up. It's just, like, you're both very competent when you play. I just got very confused. Very confused. It was weird. And it also didn't help, like having other people in the chat that weren't playing. Because for my brain, I liked having other people in the chat, but my brain got very confused. I was like, who's actually playing this game? A century? Cheeky bug. You turn the key in the ignition. Thanks. What's your name, pal? You're surprised to hear him use the familiar tu form straight off the bat. Lucine. Nice to meet you, Lucine. He stares at you intently for a moment. My name is... No, because you look like a crocodile in a non-insulting way. So I did keep on getting you mixed up with Reese when you were both green. That was confusing. It was the characters that got mixed up. I swear Ross also plays with the grumpy cat sometimes. I think. I'm not sure. It's been a while. I blame the fact that I've been going for a while. No, well, I don't know. Yes, she plays the alien. I don't know why I got you mixed up. My brain was just confused, as I said. He wasn't aware that you and your brother sound alike. Itch in the back of my head. Okay. He nods slowly as if disheartened. If I'll reveal my name to you, I'll be left with no other choice. I'll have to kill you. Pauses way too long to be joking. His face darkens. It's a different man on the seat behind you. And then his face cruises into a grin. Hey, amigo. I'm joking. I work for the CIA, that's all. The CIA? Yeah, the CIO, you know, Jason Bourne and all that, the spy business. You're a spy? Yeah, you could say that. Is that why your French is so good? I speak 8 other languages too. You give a low whistle. Not bad for a Yankee, eh? He bursts into laughter. Wonder I'm a spy, eh, amigo? Ah. Silence hangs in the air. Your passenger seems to be formulating his thoughts. You married, amigo? You shake your head no. Got a girlfriend? Negative nod. That's too bad. Good-looking guy like you. Too. All alone? What a waste. He gazes absently out the window. Americans are like that. Laid back, but yet distant. Maybe it's the booze, amigo, but I can't get this woman out of my head tonight. Man, what a woman. I'm not going to tell you where she's from. You'll just ask a ton of questions. If you ask questions, I'm going to have to lie to you, pal. I don't want to lie. You look like you're a chic type. I love that French expression. Chic type. Good guy. Firefly look comes over his face. So what's the story? He clears his throat and then falls into a long silence as if wondering where to begin. All started in this place in Africa. Between you and me, pal, I really like Africa. People there are more alive, serious. You just need to spend a couple of weeks there, no more of that, or you'll go nuts. You clench your teeth and remain perfectly still. Sheep toe. Nice one. It's a Welsh joke! I got it. We were working for this minister there, not a chic type like you. Traitor. Real son of a bitch. Imagine. He stares blankly into space, wondering if he's divulging some big secret, then continues his story. A note of bitterness has crept in his voice. Anyhow, the guy was getting difficult. We had 2 choices. Either convince him to see things our way, or sabotage his car. That's what makes work in Africa so easy. The cars, I mean. Every continent has its own little quirk. A way of getting things done without any trouble. In Africa, it's the cars, so I contacted the minister's family and met his wife. A lady, of course. She was so beautiful, amigo. Such a beauty. His voice is slowed, like a worn-out LP. There was this fierceness in her eyes. Know what I mean? An animal spirit. A lopsided grin spreads over his drunken face. She said she didn't like the Americans, preferred the French with their straightforward ways. She made me laugh. When someone dies in Africa, there's always a Frenchman in the picture. He either supplied the bullet, the gun, or the guy who got shot. He runs his fingers along the seam of his jeans. The material is heavy, almost coarse. She was so beautiful. Gone off to some faraway place in time. You pull up to the dress he'd given you, a bar that keeps late night hours. You make out snatches of animated conversation behind the lowered rolling shutter. Sir? All at once he snapped out of his funk. This bar, amigo, is run by Russians, dissidents from the Soviet era. The boss spent 10 years in the Gulag, can you imagine? The Russians, these guys really know how to deal with prisoners. It's where I would have sent that traitor, Snowden, and now it's the Russians who are protecting him. He breaks off and raps at the window. Snowden? Anyhow, who cares? He was a traitor, real son of a bitch. He reaches into his pocket and hands you a tip. You hesitate for a moment and then accept the crumpled note. As he exits the cab, he offers his parting words. Not a word about what I told you tonight, okay? His words hang ominously in the air. Not a word to anyone about this dive. He climbs out the cab, howling with laughter. He stood there for a moment, feeling pretty dumb. He starts up the cab. Tip? 71 freaking cents? Cheapskate. I swear that was like Santa Claus or something under there. Annabelle Robert. 6 for 20, that's fine. Your passenger slips into the back seat, dragging a backpack that apparently weighs a ton. Do you want to put that in the trunk? She refuses politely with a shake of the head. Thanks, but I'm going to have to get used to keeping it with me. Going to be on my back for an entire month. You smile and start the cab. Glance in the rearview mirror. Your passenger is rather young, and the camera around her neck looks very expensive. Her backpack, scarf, and clothes are barely worn. Where are you heading? She doesn't answer right away. She lowers her eyes. I'm on my way to Greece to join an NGO rescue vessel. An NGO? An association, that is. It helps migrants trying to make the crossing. I'm going to do a story on them. Oh, are you a journalist? She smiles, the first since you set off. Yes, photojournalist. They make the crossing even in winter. They make the crossing whenever they get the chance, regardless of the time of year or weather. The EU has disclosed its surveillance and rescue program. Only non-government associations are doing anything to help now. So I'm on my way. I volunteered, even made a fuss to get the assignment. The tone of voice is increasingly shrill. I read first-hand reports, I talked to journalists who have worked on the subject, just can't ignore the whole thing. She gives a short laugh. I even played a video game about refugees. Beautifully done, really powerful. I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch. This was my chance to show the world what's going on there. Your passenger's phone starts to ring. Oh, sorry, She glances at the caller name, her face freezes. She sighs, a troubled smile flickering across her face, then takes the call. Hi, Dad. I'm in the cab, right? Yeah, I told you. I tried, but he wouldn't change his mind. It's probably this war of mine. Possibly. I don't know. Come on, Dad. I already told you I'd be fine. They wouldn't be sending there if there was... She moves the phone a bit further from her ear. Come on, Dad, stop. Dad? Listen, everything's going to be fine. I'll be there for 20 days with a group of professionals who've been doing this for years. That's right, a group of rescue professionals. Would you just stop? She sighs heavily. It's no use. She's been down this road 1,000 times. We're about to get to a tunnel, mademoiselle. You're going to cut out. The young woman looks at you in surprise, then her face lights up. Did you hear, Dad? I'm going to have to go. I'll call you back as soon as I'm... She is interrupted again. That's right, I'll call back. She hangs up wide-eyed and breathes a long sigh. My parents, they can be a little much at times. She smiles. Anyhow, thanks for jumping in there. You can sense the tension, the wave of frustration and anxiety welling up inside of her. Her unhappiness and anxiety are palpable. She closes her eyes, collecting her thoughts, trying to dispel her negative emotions. If only I had a little time. Is there anything I can do to help? No, thank you, I'll be fine. You already got me out of that never-ending conversation. I was just thinking that I'd like to be able to do a little yoga. It really helps me relax. It's an amazing way to unwind, to calm down and release tension. There must be a yoga room somewhere in the airport. We're almost there. Right, of course. You get the sense she wants to tell you something, but she can't get the words out. She swallows hard and looks away. You concentrate on the road ahead. Your passenger closes her eyes and loses herself to the sound of the humming engine. Silence falls over the cab. Suddenly, she leans forward with a jerk. Any chance of putting on some music? You switch on the radio with a glance in the rearview mirror. What kind of music would she like? Probably something light with a good beat. What kind? Rock. Song is just starting. Your passenger lets out a little cry from in the back seat. I love this band. I saw them in concert last summer. Her enthusiasm immediately fades as if a bad memory has come back to her. She claps her hands together to stop them from shaking. Is everything all right? Yes, I'm fine. She blushes a little, embarrassed perhaps by your asking. Change stations. You turn the radio dial to a pop station. Hey. I thought you didn't like it. No, I do. Go back. It was fine, no worries. He turned back to the first station, a hint of irritation crept into her voice. What I mean is, I made an important decision at that concert. I decided to leave. She sighs. I was listening to one of their songs. The words go something like, "Get up, take a stand, only you can change the world." It made an impression on me. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I want to do. Change the world. She smiles. All because of a guy who snorts cocaine and can barely play the guitar. She looks up at you. He beats his wife too. Why I said that. I've always loved that band and those lyrics. They changed me. She stops short. Sorry, I'm telling you my life story. Nobody cares. You hope your smile will cheer her up, bolster her confidence. Your passenger doesn't react. She turns her head. The ride continues in silence. The road keeps passing by, and before long you're approaching the airport. A moment later you turn down the radio. The song fades. I'll pull up over here. It'll be easy for you to get out the cab. You get to the airport drop-off zone. A couple of colleagues greet you with a wave. A few bleak-looking passengers are struggling with huge suitcases and car trunks. A security guard sitting on a luggage cart smokes a cigarette, clearly exhausted. Your passenger pays the fee, collects her things, but doesn't leave the cab. Thank you for getting me out of that horrible phone call. I love my parents, but they are suffocating. It could have gone on for hours. So, thank you. I have to go now. I have the feeling my parents are going to call again. Might as well go where it's warm and I'm not a disturbance. Good luck with everything. Thanks. She gets out the cab with all her gear. Your eyes follow her as she heads to the terminal. The airport doors close behind her. You sit there a minute or two, all by yourself. There's no one around. May as well head out as soon as possible. Is he that's a tip? 50%, that's a tip. That was worth it. Nearing the end of the night. We'll take him, and then if we've got time, some petrol. Otherwise, we can pick up petrol at the beginning of tomorrow. Hervé, Gralu. Hey pal, can you help me out? 14 for 47. Yeah, but it should be fine. The door opens. It's Hervé, a homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. How is he going to afford that fare? You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks a favour of you to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, although he always seems a little on edge. Hey buddy, what's up? What's up, pup? He has a strange verbal tick that you've never really understood. You start the cab. Your passenger keeps looking over his shoulder, clearly worried. Everything okay, Hervé? Yeah, sure. No worries. His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just, there's a cop on my tail. Jail. Cop? Has anyone come around asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like from the crime squad. Nah, no one's been talking to me about you. That guy's been driving me crazy. Asking all those questions, digging up my past, you know what I mean? Digging up your past? Like my old girlfriends and stuff. Where I used to live. Why I left the shelter. First I thought it was that killer, you know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Are you somehow involved in all of that? Nah, not really. It's just that I saw the serial killer's face. He pauses, just enough for your tight brain to process the information. Hold on, you actually know what the Sandman looks like? Your passenger gives you a funny smile. I saw him in profile, Mom. His profile or his face? Profile, what's the difference? I was like 50 feet away from him, ma'am. I was like sleeping in an alley just across the street from where, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt. I couldn't sleep and, you know, I saw him in profile. I'm going to tell you, but it's pretty weird. He was kind of tall, like over 5'8". Funny build too, sort of lanky. He's staring at you. Why'd you care, ma'am? Ooh, le sans-abri. Never helped me out. I think I saw him too. Killer? Yeah. Shit, I didn't know. What happened? When? The note of urgency in his voice. 3 months ago? Must have been scary. You got to be careful with guys like that. They're crazy. Not right in the head. His face creases into a cruel smile like a naughty child. I know what I'm talking about. But man, if that cop comes around to talk to you again, you got to tell him to leap off right for me, okay? A note of anger has crept back into his voice. Goddamn cops, they're never there when we need them. Sure as hell ain't gonna help. Yep. They can go kick, sit. He looks away furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. So if it's a guy, then that rules out all the women. Which means that the dude that lost his son is looking more and more like a suspect. You don't know what to make of what Hervé's just told you. Could be a trick to throw you off the scent. But could he be capable of coming up with such a devious plan? All of a sudden your passenger gives the seatbelt in front of him a thump. Hey, stop right here, near. You pull over as soon as you can. Unless it was a woman on stilts. Okay. Okay, I'm out of here. Everything alright? Yeah, sure, no worries. Just a little business to get care of. Door opens and closes, and Hervé vanishes into the darkness. You open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette. To relieve the pressure. To calm your racing heart. Take a deep breath and drive away. Yep, I got nothing for that. And I need to fill up with petrol. Oh, what's up the... No, we're going for the yellow. We shouldn't run out of petrol, but there's a yellow dude. That means it's a suspect. But that looks like an alien up there. It could be 3 children. It's Christophe Claron. Reasonable, sir. The customer getting into your cab is in his late teens and looks exhausted. You sense he's nervous, on edge. He's afraid of something. 13th arrondissement, Rue de Choisy. He has a slight drawl, an accent from the provinces, maybe Alsace, somewhere in eastern France, anyhow. You start the cab. A lengthy silence ensues. The smell of your passenger is unmistakable. Alcohol, strong and cheap. Everything all right? The young man is surprised you ask. He doesn't answer right away. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was kind of zoning out. Problems? Ah, yes, you could say that. Alright, night then. He looks at you. At last, something in his eye tells you. Can I ask you something? You nod yes. I had a fight with my father. And I took off. Without my wallet or credit card. So where are you heading now? To my mother's. I live in my dad's place because it's closer to high school. For the two of us, we don't get along. Your mother will pay for the ride? She doesn't know I'm coming. I have to go up to get the money. She's not answering her phone. No worry, thanks for the support. I mean, I will do the draw. If... I don't know how many I'll draw, but if you do win... No, I've been streaming this whole time. I'm also high. Yeah, 18 hours and counting so far. Dan, if you just want to drop me a message, if you do win the draw, what code you'd like, and then that saves me asking. But, otherwise, good night and night to Milo. I think there are going to be more people entering this time, so the odds are lower, but obviously, you know, let me know. Yes, she's not answering her phone. Okay, cool. You don't believe a word he's saying, and he can tell you're not buying it. Yeah, if you take exclamation mark giveaway, it explains it. There is a fraffle. There are many fraffles. Otherwise I could... He averts its glaze. I was thinking maybe I could... He looks you in the eye and spreads open his jacket a little. You feel better? You must be pretty young, driving like this all alone. Maybe a massage or something else? No, it's cool, I mean, it's in my title thing, but... it's in the timer... Sorry. That way. There's a timer over there. It's like, I'm going to do it all in one go or I'm not going to do it at all. Because, yeah, I think for me, 12 hours would be worse. So, I mean, I'm starting to feel a little bit sort of tired, but I'm going to have some food in a few minutes. Just going to get to the end of the day, then put my pizza in, then do the questiony things, and then probably draw the giveaway. Do a few. Be a couple of winners. Yeah, and then I guess pick another game, or we could continue with this one. Depends what people think. This guy is offering us a happy ending. I don't drink coffee, Spaz. I've got tea. But yeah, I've just got that sort of feel like I've woken up too early feeling. Not quite sure how to shift it. Brick through window simulator? What the heck is brick through window simulator, Scrap? He breaks off and looks down at his crotch. Okay. Stop right there. His face turns bright red. Sorry, You don't have the money at all. He nods his head. No. We sigh. How old are you? 21. You look him straight in the eye. 19. I can't stand coffee. It'll make me throw up. Listen, the answer is no for the massage and the anything else. You really can't pay. Oh, you're as stealthy as a brick through a window. Fair enough. Oh, I've never heard of that. Oh, I have heard of that game, but I don't know what it is. The young man meets your eye. Yeah, I'm broke. I messed everything up this year. I lost my job at the supermarket. My roommate kicked me out. He seems to be getting younger with each new word. I have a friend who puts me up sometimes. She said I can stay at her place tonight. So that's where we're heading. Keep driving. I'm a sucker. No, it's not the wall. It's slightly different, Paul. I'm aware of the wall. I have done this before. Last year it didn't hit me the same. It's because I didn't really sleep very well last night. So I feel like I've been awake about 48 hours. But I also feel like I've woken up a little too soon. It's fine. It'll resolve. I know what the wall feels like. It's not the wall, I don't think. Unless the wall is feeling different today. I'll drive you. Passenger's eyes widen. He leans in a little closer to you. You will? You nod yes. But you have to stop doing stuff like that. You're going to get into trouble and cause trouble too. He opens his mouth to say something. Also, clearly he's not the killer. This is a frightened 19-year-old. It's clearly the dude that I said it was at the very beginning. So there we go. He opens his mouth to say something. I lied to you before. I wasn't at my father's. I was with the guy. I am a male escort. I spend the night with him. Don't even have sex. It's platonic. He lowers his eyes. He looks unhappy. I really screw things up. I don't have a place to sleep. You have nowhere to go. I don't know anyone here, only customers. My parents are old farts and I couldn't stand living in Vesu anymore. Have you ever been to Vesu? You shake your head now. Oh, don't bother going. A bunch of old farts. A tiny smile flits across his face and then disappears. Making fun of Vesu usually cheers me up, but not this time. You sense he's withdrawing again. Do you mind if I take a little nap? Just a few minutes, give myself time to think. No, it's not an act, Gruff. You're not okay. Thanks. Turn up the heat. He smiles at you and looks out the passenger window. You keep driving. Every now and then you glance back at him. He's not asleep, just staring at the road, lost in thought. He's loosened his shirt a little. He's not as cold as when he got in the cab. It's as if he were having a conversation with himself, without pronouncing a single word. As if he were weighing his options. Sometime later you park in front of the dress he had given you. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, sure. Long silence. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go home back to my parents, talk to them. His voice is faint, almost inaudible. I'm probably about to do something really stupid, huh? Probably. And you've been here too, haven't you? Yeah. A lengthy silence. You hold its gaze. He senses you understand. Thanks. He gets out without a word. Hurries into the entranceway of a modern building already in bad repair, public housing. You start the cab. Yeah. I mean, that's 2 fares that I've got 0 for, but it's the end of the night. I'm going to have to fill it with petrol now. But it's going to take me. There we go. I met Geraldine! Did not pick up Anita. Did not get to Janice. Oh dear, I made losses. I fell asleep. This is not good. I was driving. Fell asleep. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can make out your name written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Buzet promised. You lay them on the table. Take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbour flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipes shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Okay, so I'm just going to put food in the oven. And then we'll come back while it's cooking to do the thing. So I'm just going to bumble and add, so bear with me. Okay. And I'm back. So we've got 15 minutes, and then I'm breaking for some food, and I'll do a thing. Okay, autopsy. Be good. Hold. Killer case. Hold. We don't have enough time to look at the police report. Chris's criminal records. So, hopefully we'll get to look at them at some point. Whoa, okay. The grandson died in a fire. The killer is tall. Killer female voice pretending to be male. Okay. We met her. And we could have met Anita. Met him. I don't think it's him. Literally fits nothing. I'm going to do him out for now. So killer is tall. But killer female voice. Death by injection. So that's... I don't know who. Muscle relaxant. Victim's death is bad for group Diamond. Victim 3, newspaper in mouse post-mortem. Victim surprised by injection. Muscle relaxant equals panacurium bromide. Tears found on victim 3. Okay. Hey! Hi, Laurie. What are you doing up at 2 in the morning? Oh, burrito. Give him some snuggles from me. Yeah, I'm just about to have some pizza. Feeling it a little bit right now, but you know, we're 18 and a bit hours in. You know, less than 6 hours to go. Pretty good. Last quarter, I think. That makes it. I'm trying to do math at 2 in the morning. It's not great. Yes, Chris is just doing his best. Exactly. I don't think it's him. It's very unlikely that a 19-year-old runaway is going to be a killer. Even if there are tears found on the victim. Because where's he going to get his hand on panacurio bromide? Prime time. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I try not to be up this late because it makes it hard to get up in the morning, but as I'm not going to get up in the morning, I'm doing okay. Retired mailman. Anger management issues. I mean, it could be her, but in fact, seems like she's trying to get the Groupe Diamant for tax evasion. Unlikely she'd muddy it with, you know, that. Ah, muscle relaxant. So her husband. So she's looking more likely, actually. It could be him. Seems odd that they'd be crying. I don't know. I'm annoyed we can't get the other stuff, but I don't know how relevant it would be. I'm hoping we can get that tomorrow. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. Okay, this do keep on falling asleep is not helping. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, passengers, their faces, their problems. Whoa! Whoa! Thank you, Anonymous. Whoever you are. Of course, now I want to know who you are. But, and it's not updated yet. But, wow, thank you. It's really generous. It's very generous. I love the preciseness. Or the impreciseness. Rainmaker says 69 and Extra Life says 70. It's possible like the whole paying for fees thing does that. I'm not sure, but thank you very much. Wow. Totally smashing it today. Totally smashing it. For the kids. Also, I got a badge called Leroy Jenkins. It was 133.70 on Extra Life. I don't know why because it's leaked, I guess. It displays correctly on Extra Life, Larry, and thank you. Thank you. That's much appreciated. Yeah, smashing it with the kids, for the kids. Yeah, and team just hit 10k with that as a team. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Don't smash any kids. No, I meant smashing it for the kids. And hopefully not falling asleep. Or indeed running anyone over with my taxi cab in this game. But, yeah. So far we're doing quite well on sticking to the plan. Yes. Neat. I like that. I like that very much. I do really, really want my pizza though. It's not ready yet. Okay, open one eye. For a second there, you hope the evidence board was just green too, but you can make it out in the shadows. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. 9-3. I'm gonna lose my voice for a little bit after this, I feel. Okay, we need petrol. Damn it, there's a yellow person. We need to pick up the yellow people. Yeah. I'm tired. I've got two of my friends mixed up at least 3 times today. Yeah. We should have enough petrol for this, and then we fill it with petrol after her. It's Anita. I need to get clues. She's literally going 0.8 of a kilometer. I think we can manage this. She wants to pay me 62 cents, though. That's a little annoying, but hey. You pull up in front of La Pierre. 2 women are waiting out front, standing a ways apart. The first one is one of your suspects. This is the same thing as we had before. The Charmer lady. Okay. We're going in 2 different directions. We've had this before. Saint-Germain. Go ahead. I see another taxi at the end of the street. Don't worry about me. Go. She turns to her friend. Is that okay with you? No worries. Call me? Of course. Let me think about your offer. Your suspect gets into the cab. Your next passenger gets in and you start driving away from the restaurant. Your passenger turns around trying to catch her friend's eye, the one she left behind on the sidewalk. She sighs a very strange sigh. It's audible, just audible. What is? I was talking about. She realizes she was talking out loud and freezes. With a short moment of silence, she looks at you closely and decides you must be trustworthy. You've always been a people person. You see it as a sort of superpower. My friend, what has happened to her is just horrible. She's not doing well. She's in a bad way. Doesn't know what to do anymore. She was telling me about a new idea, a new business plan, but it's obvious she's at the end of her rope. I helped her build a future for her business and she burst into pieces just like that huge blimp way back when. It's horrible, especially since. Huge blimp. The Hindenburg? It's horrible, especially since. Her voice fades out for a second, floats in midair. She seems lost in thought. You keep an eye on her, glancing back from time to time. Her mind is elsewhere, far from this taxi. Every once in a while she makes a noise, a mix between a whistle and a chirp. You'd really love to know what she's thinking. You're only a few minutes from Saint-Germain. It's probably your only chance to get near the subject. You have to talk to her. You recommend the restaurant then? She barely raises her head towards you. Yes, yes. Fine dining, and the chef is a remarkable woman, too. Just remarkable. Her sentence leaves no doubt and puts an immediate end to the conversation. You can tell she's a real pro. She runs a company and knows how to start and how to finish a conversation. She also knows how to appear busy and put on a poker face. You try to find something about her manner, appearance, and detail you could connect to the night of the attack. She catches you watching her. Is something wrong, or do you do this to all your passengers? Do what? Stare at them and make them feel uncomfortable. She looks around the cab. What is the name of your company? You park the taxi in front of her destination. She looks up at her building. You got lucky. I hope I never see you again. Her icy voice cuts through the night. She pays her fare and gets out of the cab in a huff. You hear the sound of her heels banging on the sidewalk. She walks up to the entrance of her building, turns around and looks at you. I'm driving away. She's scary. You turn the key in the ignition and notice you are shaking nervously. You leave her street behind. She gave me a cent for a tip. That was ridiculous. And now we're going to the petrol station. Whatever pops up, we're going to the petrol station. Passenger has entered your cab, slams the door and stares at you intently. Where are you going? I don't know yet. So the real question is, how can you help yourself? Do we know each other? She gives a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say to you, her voice is slightly raspy, with an oddly metallic sound. October 27th? That's the date, the night of the attack, the night you... What if this passenger were the Sandman? 46 p.m.? No, the attack took place later. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head? Answer. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me? Not as a word. She waggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th. You were in this very cab driving a fare and you committed a crime. That's right, sir, a crime! Interrupt her. Listen. Her voice goes up a notch. Believe me, you don't want to interrupt me. You'd spend the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi Driver. I collect mistakes that a bunch of moron journalists make. Isn't a single one, not one who knows how to write a proper sentence. I've had it, really had it. On the night of October 27th, you cut me off. Say nothing. I almost died that night. She grinds her teeth. You shudder. I crashed my car, my boyfriend's car, that is. Same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think the guy dares call himself a feminist. She pauses for dramatic effect, as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. Her voice is suddenly noticed to be quiet, almost fragile. The next day, no more boyfriend. No more car. I messed up a job interview with a major news outlet, a paper where people know how to write and where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine just for a moment I could have stopped collecting copy for a bunch of morons. She takes a deep breath. But all because of you, because your cab, everything changed the night of October 27th. Sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. But her voice is bursting with fury and hatred. Oh no, pizza's in the oven. I'm going to stop for pizza in a minute. You haven't missed that. You've missed murderers and scary ladies in taxi cabs. Forced to go live with my mother when I went apartment hunting in this rotten city where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. So I started looking for you. Back of your neck breaks out into a sweat. You can feel cold, plummy droplets about to drip down your spine. You started asking around. I bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. Droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Now I found your address, your first ones, that is. You shiver as the drop reaches your boxes. But that's your business. What matters is I eventually did get your other address, the real one. The droplet has reached your tailbone. You started shaking. At first, I admit I was planning on going to your place. She shrugs her shoulders. Her voice softened a little. Just maybe to spit in your face or some things like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludivine, maybe the guy deserves a chance, you never know. So you're going to apologize. Go on, give it your all, take your time, take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply. Then exhales. Like that. I'm sorry, but I don't remember that night. Not memorable enough, huh? No, I've forgotten what happened that night. She freezes. A few minutes after I met you, I was attacked. Attacked by the Sandman. The serial killer? It's you. You survived. Yeah. A host of conflicting feelings flicker across her face. Doubt, surprise, anger, the desire to slap you. And she falls back against the car seat, all of her anger somewhat gone. I didn't know. The police wanted to keep it all a secret. I didn't see the killer's face and he didn't see mine, for my own protection, for my own peace of mind. The newspaper where I work, they're looking for you. We have a reporter looking for you. The last few months have been difficult for you. Really difficult. I'm still sorry. Even if I don't remember anything, even though I was attacked, it doesn't change anything about... You can't find the right words. Maybe because you imagine for a moment a normal night how things should have been. Passengers, rides in Paris, a tourist heading to Mauritius or something. And you and your cigarettes, cheap packs of beer, the little radio next to your bed. Your passenger clears her throat. She's noticed your mind is elsewhere. Thanks. All her anger has evaporated. No more looks that could kill, simmering rage or grinding teeth. My boyfriend was a jerk anyway, and then this job maybe it wasn't so great. She gives you a little smile. I tend to get all worked up about things. You'd noticed. And sometimes I take things a little too far. That too. In Paris, I guess we are quick to forget about being nice to one another, about being polite then. For a taxi driver, you're a real sweetheart. She gives a short laugh. This is what I suggest. I'm going to exit the cab. I'm going to go for a little walk into the cold to get my mind off things. And then when I get home, I'll destroy all the information I have on you. Is that okay with you? You nod, yes. Thank you. This word echoes for a moment throughout the taxi. Your passenger reaches for the door. The door opens, then closes. Can I get petrol now? You're alone in the taxi, your head spinning slightly as if you'd had a drink. Just one, but something really strong. You briefly try and remember that night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you. The killer's silhouette, a fleeting presence. You shake your head. There's nothing more than before. If only you'd turned around, everything would have been easier if you'd seen the face of... All at once you start the cab. God damn it! Gone past the petrol station. Okay. So I'm going to head to the petrol station, but I'm also going to pause. And I'm going to have food. And then when I come back, I'm going to do a draw and we're going to see what we want to do. So I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to sit at the sofa. I'm just going to stretch and have my pizza. So I'll be about, I don't know, 15-ish minutes. But I'll leave it on the extra life scene with my wonderfully, high-tech getting food notice. So, bye Laurie, thanks for checking in. Yes, so I'll be about 15 minutes. I'm just going to have a break and I'll be back in a bit. I am back. I have had some pizza. I realized it was really, really hot, so I've just taken the top of the onesie off for now. Because I don't want to feel hot. Hot is not nice, especially not when you're sort of wondering sleepy stuff as well. As to which pizza, it was cheese, stuffed crust. Yeah. I like pineapple on pizza, but I cannot eat it, so meh, and I definitely wouldn't be able to eat spicy chicken. And thank you for the follow, John Wright. So did that answer all of your questions? Okay, so I said when I came back I would do a yeah, I'm good. I just had some food and a little bit of cold air outside. I was heating up and some water, and I'm good. So I will run the giveaway in a minute or so. So last entry's in for this round. Last entry's in for this round. That's FTK for the kids. Hashtag FTK to enter for a chance to win this round. Let me just make sure my bot doesn't win. And yeah, anyone that entered before is fine, because obviously I haven't done it. Wrong year. Really? Oh, I changed the month and not the year. Hang on, let me fix that. No, that's just kind of embarrassing. I looked at that. I spent ages looking at it. And I was like, I put the right day. It's the 7th. It was the 7th yesterday. It's fine. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's been on the whole time. At least the first screen said 2020. Oh, okay. Night, Jessie. Thanks for watching. And yeah, so I've got some Xbox codes to give away. I will do a draw for let me figure out. So just gotta count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. 17. Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd sorted it, and I forgot to change that particular bit. Never mind. 17. Let's say 17. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 codes left to give. So, how many hours left? 5. Ah, okay. Or 10 codes left. Yes, I know I do. I wrote it down that I hadn't sent it. I put you in the spreadsheet though. I didn't forget. Send that now. You were counted in the counting that I was counting. So yes, so yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm tired. I've been up for, this is 18, 19 hours plus the hour I was up before then. So give me a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, they've got 10 codes left and 1 that wasn't picked. But have all never got back to me? I don't know if Avora is still around. They haven't posted since, so I guess that code's up for grabs again. So, what was I saying? 10 codes, 5 hours. So I will do... Alright, I'm just going to roll it and see what happens. Mullivin! It's still here, my man! We have some codes to give away. Does anyone happen to have the... I will draw more people, so don't worry. If you've not been drawn yet, you may still have a chance to win from the entries. I just, I'm doing it one at a time. So, we've got Road to Guangdong, Stories Untold, Unrailed, Kato, and Shotgun Farmers. Codes to choose from. Ah, thank you. What Alkesh just said. Stories Untold. Awesome. Good choice. I will just do that. Yeah, that really did look fun. Cool. I will whisper you the code and then I'm just going to roll another winner. Mr. Coolness! Are you still around? Same list. Do it. Just as a note, to say that obviously if you did enter the giveaway and you're not following me, please do follow me now because, kind of, there we, aha, right, okay, Road to Guangdong. That one is the final one for that, so that knocks that off the list. I will send you that code. Mr. Coolness. Make sure I click on the right person. There you go. Okay. Right. And I will do another roll. Ah! So it's the same list, but minus Road to Guangdong. So that's the list. Congratulations, Zyma. Still got a few more to roll, so, don't worry. You still might have been with a chance. Just going to highlight the ones I've not given out so that I don't lose track of it because it's really hard. How do I highlight in this thing? While I'm figuring that out, is Ima still here? How do I highlight? Or maybe I just hide the rows, the ones I've given out. That probably works better. And I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, Stories Untold, Unrailed, Kato, and Shotgun Farmers. I've got 2 codes left for each of those. I'm going to roll again. I think. Yes, I'm going to roll again. One more winner this time. John Wright! John Wright, 2016 DW. Are you still there, my man? I don't know what I'm saying, my man. I've had a lot of caffeine today. The game choice is above a couple of lines. And would... Oh, and thank you, Mr. Coolness, for the gifting of the subs. Try to take a screenshot. The chat moved. Demo plays. Awesome. Unrailed. Cool. Let me just copy that. So that I know that I've got that unrailed. I will whisper you that on Twitch. So there you go. Dude, I'll do that. Yes, indeed. Nice. So yeah. That is awesome. Cool. Okay, so I'll give Ima and Havor till the next to claim codes. Which I don't know when I'll do it. I might just do it at the end of the stream with the last codes that I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, I'll have 5 codes left if they claim. Otherwise, I'll have 7. Because obviously, you know, I want to give them all away by the end of the stream. So yeah, I might do 2 giveaways. It depends. But on that note, I think I'm going to play a little bit of Kato. Because it's new on Game Pass, which is where I'm playing it from. I believe I didn't get a code for this one, so we're going to give Nightcall a break because the dude keeps falling asleep and it's just making me tired, which is not great. So Kato's a puzzle game. So I'm going to do my